Hey guys, welcome to the Phoenix Podcast. I'm Brandon McDevitt.
I'm Tiffany Piper.
And I'm Savannah Gouch. Today we're going to be talking about space travel with our guest Anna/Karina.
Hey
Hi,
Anna, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm
We are
good.
doing all right.
Go.
Wait, who's that? Wait,
This happens sometimes, brothers.
Most times,
siblings.
yeah.
Don't freak
Lyle is a
so-
feature
out.
of the podcast.
He never waves, and it's sad. We will wave
Yeah.
to him, and he will not wave back.
Oh,
Anyway, one big question I have is when? When will we be able to travel as a human race? What year do you think that will be?
I mean, ballpark, it really depends on like the political atmosphere, you know? Like,
Okay.
I mean, I would go 50 years, like 100 years, because I mean, the opinion of the public has to change. People don't want to spend that much money, you know? Like, they don't want to pay that much tax money to send people somewhere, you know, not knowing if they're going to die. Even if it's unmanned, I don't think people are going to go for that. I think it would be like China or something, right? Like, where the people, they don't have a say. You know?
Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone else, Savannah,
Um,
time.
That's a really hard question, but like based on like current stuff, like the plans that Elon Musk has and like stuff like that
Mhm.
kind of lead me to believe that it's like Anna, like going to be within the next like 50 years. Like, I don't think we're going to colonize it in 50 years, but I think we're going to get there.
Okay.
We'll be there.
All right.
I kind of think, I don't know, I know I'm the only one who's probably watched Space 20, but I think we'll be kind of like that at 50 years, where we have like this area where we're doing science and stuff on another planet or in space, but people are going to be there for like about 5 years, and then they come back. No one's like
Okay.
living there.
All right.
I
Yeah,
guess
I
kind of
actually
like
agree.
what Savannah says. I'll give you your idea, Savannah. Sorry.
Right.
No, you're fine. Go for it. Yeah.
I say 20 years, give or take. Do you guys think, like, okay, let me phrase that question better. What do you think it will be like? Like, as of right now, we have to go to Russia to go on a janky old rocket and go to the International Space Station, all right? And it's small. Do you think with deep space travel or space travel and that,
I think Elon Musk's going to
Yeah.
make some new high-tech thing that we're going to start using.
okay, new tech? So it's going to
After
be
we
like more
get over the fact
futuristic?
that he named his baby after a password.
Yes, sir. And what do you think about, like, what is it going to look like in the future?
I mean, it's probably going to stay like the way it is now unless they have some major breakthrough about some new technology that can make it easier. But as of right now, it's probably just like the space station.
I think
Right.
with like Elon building everything, and he seems to like, he has the money to advance things further. So I think that I just think that everything's going to go either two ways. Either Elon is going to further develop things and the government's just going to follow along, or the government's going to go their own way and try and stop him from taking full control.
Tony Stark.
What do you guys, I think with Elon comes up a lot in our podcast. It's pretty funny.
We should just have him on the podcast one day.
Yeah, we gotta, I'll call him up, tweet him, you know what I mean? Hey,
Hey, just go to the Zoom, Elon.
yeah, come on, Zoom us. Elon's been working on the Dragon Crew capsule, which is the American version, essentially, of what Russia's doing. And it's so cool. Like, you guys got to see it. I do think Elon will direct the government back to like home travel. You know what I mean? Because we're going to somewhere else. Do you think the government will be with or against humans, not, like privatized companies, not NASA, but SpaceX? Do you think they're going to be with or against that coming into the future?
I think he has enough money to where they have to be with it. Like, he's really bringing a lot to the table. He's really kind of like being like this self-sufficient creator, and he's discovering a lot that could really benefit us. So I think that they should be on his side. But then again, our government's our government, so who knows?
Maybe initially they won't, but eventually they'll realize that it's better that way because he's smart and he's got money, and if they just combine resources, they could get a lot more done.
So I think I remember, Brandon, you mentioning how the government will use like $1 million to make make something, and Elon found a cheaper way about it. Like it's like something that took them $1 million took him like a couple thousand or something along that lines. I'm not completely sure, but I remember
You're right.
about it. So I also think that looking at that fact, I feel like there's something that they're using all this extra money on that we're not knowing, and Elon's being upfront and truthful about what he's using. Or so he says.
Okay, do you think one of the factors... Okay, so...
Sorry, I was trying to get like a question about that. Do you think that will affect like how we move forward? Are we going to be wasting money on stuff that could be used for cheaper resources that can do the same thing and maybe even do it better?
I'll say, from what I think, Elon has been really open about, for at least Tesla, to share how they build the car, because that's it's a safer way. You don't want to privatize peace, you know what I mean? But when it is, everyone's electric, then that's where the new competition starts. I think the government's going to be a little iffy, but if they have the right directions to build something, I think they'll lean more towards that. What do you guys think?
I think he's made some statements, or he's done things that kind of like really emphasize the point that he doesn't really care. Like when he started up the Tesla production line again on May 11th, I think, and he wasn't necessarily supposed to do that. It kind of went against the county's rules that he was in. And I mean, he was kind of like, it's, if somebody's gonna get in trouble for it, it's gonna be me, but I don't care, And I kind of...
Isn't he the guy that made a flamethrower and named it not a flamethrower?
Just so you can sell it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people really like what he stands for. I mean, I really like how he's kind of like going against the government and being like, if we have the freedom of speech, then we can do what we want. And if we have all these rights, why not? So I don't think the government is necessarily going to be on his side entirely, just because of his previous actions and his future actions that we all know is coming.
I think that it's possible that they will, though, because you know how the government is. Like, sometimes there's a president who's like playing good cop, oh, the president, part of the government is trying to go against the government in a way so that they can win followers and people to vote for them. So to be honest, I think that if a president was going to support Elon Musk, like somebody big in the government like that, they could convince like the public and the rest of the government to go along with it, because they want people to vote for them. And if there's a large portion of the population that wants what Elon Musk is doing, then I think that could sway the government.
With that like the strong influence, do you think there will be a lot of conflict if someone with the same ideas as Musk came up and has the same kind of influence on people? Do you think there will be a lot of competition there, or with including the government and Musk, or do you think it'll be, this is the right way, they both have the same ideas?
Of course there's going to be competition, because
humans are competitive by nature.
Yeah. Exactly. And eventually you know how Musk is. He's just like whatever, you know. So I mean, he might end up
He's
just
not
not
gonna.
caring.
I think
Okay.
he'll internally be competitive, but in front of the people, he's not gonna. He's gonna act like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading his biography, and they were saying how competitive he is, and he'll, do whatever it takes to make sure you lose. And I was like, I don't want to go against Elon here. That right. I think that there's going to be, a company who's trying to do what Elon is doing and get obliterated because, Elon's Elon. So then we were just saying that Elon is going to have competition, stuff like that.
Okay.
What do you? The question was, do you think if someone with the same ideas as Elon came up, do you think there will be more or less competition? Who is it going to be against with the government, stuff like that?
The way that I've always thought of it is like, if you have like a musician, right? Like let's like Billie Eilish, and you compare that to somebody our age or a little bit younger who's like, oh, I sound like Billie Eilish, like, or I think it
Okay.
works the same way. Like you're not going to be able to be as big as Billie Eilish because she's in her time zone. She's in her time frame. So if another Elon Musk came along, I don't think that it would really work unless they had enough money and they had similar ideas but were different enough to where they could not be called a copycat.
I think
Okay.
that there might be some. If something like that were to happen, though, because everyone's always comparing. Like even I make jokes saying, "Oh, that's such a Tony Stark thing to do." Everyone kind of compares him to the fantasy fiction character Tony Stark. I think
Right.
someone else is going to come up, but they're going to be in a different way. I don't
Okay.
think there's going to be competition so much as they're kind of like him in a way, but in a different area. Like he's doing engineering and astronomy. What if they're doing something in more biology standards or something
Okay.
different, but kind of in the same aspect?
I feel you.
Also, if Elon Musk or a competitor gets involved in some kind of scandal, that's gonna knock them down a lot of points, and that's gonna bump the other person up. So.
Right. That's true. It's definitely true. Yeah. What country? We're gonna, country-wise, do you think is gonna lead in space travel, space, anything space really? Because with space comes travel. So, what countries do you think is gonna be the top tier as of now of what we're looking at?
I think it's going to be, the USA is going to be up there a little bit, I mean, the government's not super good right now, but
Right.
still, there's a lot of funding. So also China, they're bumping up all their like satellites and stuff. Like they're trying to catch up. They were already trying to catch up when it was, like the 60s. And I think that, when there's an opportunity for them to get ahead, they're going to take it. So, but I'm not really sure about, I guess, other countries. North Korea, they're doing missiles a little bit. But every country like wants to specialize in something and be the best at one thing. And I think
Right.
Maybe it's possible that some country will emerge and like monopolize space travel.
Okay.
I think that so far, based on, I don't really know about other countries and their space travel currently to the fullest extent, but I know that America has been doing good Elon Musk wise. I don't think our government, like NASA hasn't been doing great. Just kind of we're on this like little repetition circle of like same thing again, News wise, we're not. I don't think we're doing much, or at least the people aren't being made aware of what we're doing. So I don't really know where America's government is at. Just Elon Musk.
I gotta say that I remember in December of last year, I think it was December 20th, they came out with a new military branch called the Space Force. Or that's what I found the name the only name I found. I'm not sure exactly of the name. You can look it up yourself. But I think they're now gonna be a lot more quiet about it, because now they created this military ranch where they're gonna be doing all this research and doing
Okay.
all this stuff on.
Okay.
Which can
Okay.
explain why to the public it seems like quiet. Because to me it seems like they haven't been talking about much other than, oh, in December, last thing I've really heard much that's been on the news is, oh, there's a Space Force, or there's a space
Right.
version of the, there's an Army branch
Army.
now that has stuff to do with space.
Okay.
Have
That
you?
brings
Okay,
up-
has everybody seen Avatar? You know how they like? You haven't seen Avatar? All right, Brandon, you really
No, I'm
need.
sorry, I'm uncultured. All right, geez.
No, it's not
I heard
that.
it's great.
Okay, you're
I've
really
heard
gonna
it's
enjoy it.
Pieces of Avatar.
Knowing what you're interested in, Brandon, you're really gonna like it. I only watched
I
it
know the
recently.
basics.
Yeah.
Me too.
So they like send a lot of like military people up there that are trained
yeah.
specifically for this, and that's kind of like where I think we're gonna be headed. Just kind of like training
Avatar.
specific force to go up there. Yeah, Avatar. We're turning into Avatar, you know.
I think it's gonna be pretty funny. How do you hide a rocket going up? Right? How do you hide a massive, loud missile with a tank on it? What are you gonna do?
You
Oh,
go
no,
in the
they
middle
did
of
this one,
Kentucky.
like, shields, air,
Middle of Kentucky.
air.
You still hear it, man.
Craft
That thing. There's people in
thing.
Kentucky, right?
Okay,
There's gotta be people in
But
so
they're not
Kentucky.
very smart.
I've been to Kentucky.
Look at that.
I've been to Kentucky once, and that is the worst car ride I've ever been in, because it's just massive open fields. You rarely see anyone. There's so many ghost towns. It's empty, man. Kentucky is
Wait, so
empty
there's ghost
besides the
towns?
distilleries of bourbon. Then there's everyone there. Everybody's
Well, my
at the bourbon
cousins live
place.
there. It's not that
Oh, we
bad.
just dissed them.
Whoops.
My bad.
I mean, more like
No
the
offense.
Midwest is a better place, like the middle of Kansas or something, where
Okay.
it's completely flat and there's no one actually home.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
popular.
yeah,
They
that
want to build a
reminds me. I
factory.
had a friend who visited the West, and she said, I know I'm claustrophobic, but I'm also the opposite of that. Walking through there, I had mental breakdowns because it's so much space, and you can see so much, yet there's no one there.
So I went on a trip with like my church to Kentucky, and it was like we were on this like, I don't know, it's too many acres. I felt like I was walking 5 miles a day just to go and get breakfast. It was horrendous. I don't know, but you could blow up a rocket or something. You could even drop a nuclear bomb and nobody would know. It might be a
But
little
you
exaggerated,
you
but
gotta build a factory, right? You gotta
there's
have
already
a
some built.
building.
They're super old. Nobody's gonna go inside. You'll never know.
But this has got to be modern, right? Like
Well,
this got to
now
look
they're going to
high
know
tech.
Savannah because you said something
Put
on
a
the
cover over it, a rickety old wooden.
You could
cover
use
over
my
the
you could
base.
use my bubble. You know, the bubble around your
Oh yeah.
You could use
Yes.
that from my from our
Um,
Shark Tank video. You gotta go check that out.
That was awesome.
After you finish watching this one, though, yeah.
Your thoughts, Anna?
Self
thoughts on that
promo.
military base.
Yeah.
Geez, man. Do you think like what with space travel, who do you think is going to colonize what? That's such a broad question, but you can do whatever. So you guys.
I mean, America probably would be the first to colonize because they're better at competition. I think once they get all worked up, they're like, okay, now we gotta win, now we gotta colonize.
Okay.
But not on a large scale because we don't have the technology for that. I doubt we ever will have like the technology to do it on like such a large
Really?
scale.
I think
like
we'll be-
talking about like Mars or something, a place where you need like technology to survive.
Yeah, I agree with
Okay.
Anna there because like even then, like we're not going to sit here and send 50 people to Mars. We're going to probably send a small group of
Okay.
like smaller. I don't know I don't have any idea of the exact number, and we'll slowly add people and kind of have like a maximum number, and then kind of throw people in, pull people out until we know how to how life living there completely on your own would be like,
I think
if
it's going to
that's
be
even
Okay.
possible.
it's going to be dedicated scientists that are really eager to go and have the experience to go. I'm talking people with multiple PhDs, highest education levels. It's going to be a land of the geniuses for a while. So I'll be up there, obviously. I'm just kidding.
You and Brandon will be
Yeah.
up there. You guys will FaceTime. It's like,
You
hey,
can't get
here's
me off this
Mars.
planet. You can't get me off this planet. I'm
Yeah.
staying grounded.
I think that that's how it's going to be for a bit, and then we're going to add people by the hundreds. Again, people that went into fields that are just, they're highly educated, people that are going to help to further develop space and stuff up there. I think that it's going to be strictly based on education who goes and money. You got money and you really want to go for it. You know, that, I think that's what it's going to be. But I think a lot of the millionaires and billionaires in this world and trillionaires are just going to want to, let's stay down here and I'll send my maid up there. You know, like, I don't know, you know, something like that.
Do you think it's safe to send the smartest people in the world to a place that we're not so good at colonizing it? I think it would be the opposite way of, you send some unworthy people there. I know that sounds dehumanizing, but
Honestly, people on
you
death
just
row,
send
why don't we
like
just send them there?
tests. They won't
But then,
listen to us.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I ain't leaving. Have
But
a
I mean,
cop on
it would be a
patrol.
nice
now we're getting
test.
into, have any of you guys watched The 100 on Netflix?
I think I've heard of it, but no.
I definitely heard
The
of it.
way you guys are saying, oh, let's send the unworthy people, that reminds me of like their thoughts of, so pretty much with the 100, Earth got nuked up and it's full of radiation, and they want, in about 90 to 100, I don't know, like about 5 to 6 generations later,
Okay.
they want the space station that humanity's living on decides to send all the delinquent kids down there to see if it's survivable.
People are gonna have problems with that, let me tell you.
Makes
But
sense.
Oh
Makes
yeah,
I-
but
sense.
I don't think we would send delinquent kids, but
I don't think we should send kids, period, because
unworthy.
the way the rest of the world is gonna take that is you're okay,
Oh, that would be horrible.
destroying the
That
future
would,
generations.
no.
You
No,
know?
but that's like that's what the TV show's about. Not saying
That
Yeah,
shit, yes.
that, but the way
Agreed.
you guys were saying unworthy, that's kind of what it reminded me of.
I mean, the
Alright.
science of that doesn't always work out either. Like, because with the technology, they have to send people places in like different kinds of space shuttles and rockets and that kind of stuff. You can't put a whole bunch of people up there. They don't have like they have something that can fit like 6 people, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't know what space, like long-term space travel, does to the human body, or what it would do to like a kid who's still growing. You know, you could seriously screw somebody
True.
up.
Yeah, that would suck.
Then again, I'm not saying that we would send kids in real life. It's just
we won't send
the
kids.
whole idea. No, we're probably gonna send adults.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's gonna be
middle-aged people who aren't growing, they're shrinking.
I don't think it's gonna be like a right away thing that we like send a lot of like smart people up there or anything like that. I think it's gonna be kind of like a slow putting things there first and getting
Okay.
an atmosphere situation in tow. And I think once scientists are sure of it, then we'll be able to send. I don't think we can do like 1 or 2. I think it needs to be like 15 minimum, because a lot of something that astronauts often deal with is like the loneliness and like all that. So I think that we should have enough people
Sure.
to where they can still have an intellectual conversation and not feel lonely.
I think if we were to send like about the amount of people, I think it would be like what you said, like 15 or so, maybe like between 10 to 15 is more so my thought. And they would also be very picky about who they bring too. Like you want to make sure that they'll listen to you 100%, but you want them to be able to under okay when I mean like listen to you 100%. They understand the severity of what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, people that are really eager to go, people that value science and space and like want to
And
not
now you're
necessarily better humanity, but learn. People that are really eager to learn, I think. It's going to be key.
All right.
Big brains.
Big brains. Any before we close out, do we have any final thoughts on space travel? Anyone
Ooh.
want to? Nothing.
I mean,
They
it's
have
just
Any
to
got
be
anything?
alive.
yeah. I think
Okay.
okay, I used to think that like going to Mars would take us like 3 years, but as Brandon and Tiffany have told me, it's like 6 months,
6
year-ish.
to 9 months.
Yeah. So I think with it not being that long, like I feel like it's just gonna be for a couple of years, we've just been going back and forth, kind of like getting what we can before we physically put people on a ship and get them there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they would do that because, like, I feel like they even did that with the moon and stuff. Before they got a person on the moon, they sent stuff up there, in general. Just I
Check
feel
it
like
out.
they would have to like just see what they would need to do before they sent a human there.
I'm
Okay.
really excited to see who's the next Armstrong, I
All right.
And it won't
That'd
be
be so
just
cool.
the next Armstrong. I think it'll be like the next 10 Armstrongs.
Okay.
well, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So in conclusion, we're not there yet, but we will. There's a long way to go, right?
For sure.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Phoenix podcast. We'll close up there. Um,
Thanks to Anna for joining us
Yeah.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, Anna.
Thanks for
Thank you for
inviting me.
listening. Consider liking, subscribing so you don't miss out on an episode. Comment your thoughts on what you think about deep space travel and space travel in that matter.
And give us some ideas
Okay.
on what you want to hear about.
Yes,
Let's
for sure.
talk about.
All right, guys. Stay safe. See you in the next one.
Bye.